2023 edition. And the away team are the team who are making their debut at this tournament, the Zimbabwean under-19 cricket team. All right. We are almost set. Let's have the national anthem, please.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Those raps and talk may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to set our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace, all back to honor, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant these our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
All right, from the international airport in Nigeria to Harare, Zimbabwe is 5 hours 36 minutes. And in the next minute, I shall be arriving at the Harare International Airport. right, thank you very much. God bless Nigeria. God bless Zimbabwe. The die is cast. The stage is set. We are ready for the big game. Nigeria versus Zimbabwe's under-19 team. Congratulations once again to the lady who broke a 21-year-old record, making her debut to score 111 runs off 65 balls, 17 boundaries. Fanny Utagushimaninde from Rwanda. And in the light of that, congratulations on her T20 debut. I'd like to say congratulations also to Adekweju Adetoro Balogun, who also made her international debut in T20 as an umpire. We hope and we pray that many more of this will come. Congratulations to Fanny. Congratulations to Adekweju. Ladies and gentlemen, the game is about to commence. Big shout out to our fourth umpire, Rajesh Pile. Big shout out to the third umpire, Kende Olabiwanu Wale Shomoe. Big shout out to our two on-field umpires. We are wishing them all the best in today's game. Anje Nico Igohozo. And of course, Nomsa Siolise Buka Diam. Tournament referee, Tonye Timinadi. All the best to the two teams. Bulentosi Maposa, the captain of Zimbabwe under-19 team. And all the best to Lucky Piety, the captain of Team Nigeria.
Good afternoon and welcome to Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval venue for the 5th Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament. I have here with me match 2, day 1 of this edition. The captain of the home team from Zimbabwe, the under-19 team, Bulembetosi Mapusa. The captain of the away team, Nigeria, Lucky Piety. Our tournament referee, Tonye Timinadi, and our third umpire, Rajesh Pila. Let's take the toss.
Tail is the call. Air David.
And so the toss has just been conducted. The captain of Zimbabwe has won the toss. Bulembetosi Mapusa, what do you intend to do?
We'll bat first.
What informed that decision? Why do you want to bat first?
I think it's a betting track, and that's why I'm actually there.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, won the toss and elected to bat. Now let me talk to the captain of Team Nigeria, Lucky Piety. Lucky, you lost the toss. If you had won the toss, what would you do?
We had intentions to bat first, but we also have other plans, which with the determination of the toss, so we'll go with it.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
All right, from the center where the toss has been conducted, Bulembetosi Mapusa won the toss and elected to bat.
Right, we're back for our match day 1, game number 2. And this afternoon, the host, the Yellow Greens, will be taking on the Zimbabwean under-19s. Of course, Zimbabwe winning the toss and decided to have a bat first out there in the middle. Nicolette Nika will be opening the batting with the experienced beloved Biza. They have opted to go with the third man straight away from the very first over and the deep extra cover. Ude Lillian, shot number 3, who loves bowling from that end, the Court of Appeal end, will be opening the bowling with the new cherry. Fast ball, says the umpire. Beats the outside edge, keeping a tad too low on the occasion from Lillian Ude. Who's been very, very handy with the ball in hand, especially in her very fast spell. She always trouble the opening batters of the opposition side. They would love to see her making the inroads as soon as possible. You'd feel like it is a very good call, of course, from the Zimbabwe under-19 side, deciding to have a bat fast. beats the outside edge again, and that extra pace and bouncer carries on to the wicketkeeper. Team Sarah, who's been very, very handy with the gloves in hand for the yellow greens. I won't be alone, of course. I'll be joined by Andy, as of course we welcome him after right after the third delivery. She has a backward point covers and mid off. Very fully packed. Offside is Lilian Ude. Lovely shot through the gap between those two fielders. Can this be the first boundary? Oh yes, it does. Given the way the outfield is electric, allowing the ball to go all the way to the boundary.
Clearly again there for the take. Brilliant drive this time through backward of point. And they found unneeded boundary. A brilliant and brave start from Zimbabwe under 19. Electrifying atmosphere here at the TBS Cricket Over. And that's the beauty of this game and this tournament.
Talking about the wicket, when you look at Tita from the very first game, Rwanda, of course, posting the highest total on this particular ground, the Tafawa Balewa Square. It is a belter of a wicket. We'll give credit to your shot. Beaten by pace on the occasion.
A bit of lazy show here, but Lilian Ude gradually steaming in, and hopefully she gets things through. Another dot ball. And real intensity here, but clearly Zimbabweans are not shaken. A brilliant and brave start by Zimbabwe. Hopefully this will become that encounter for the day on an Eid holiday. Young stars here sticking around watching the game.
Soft hands again, straight to the field at covers. A fantastic first over there from Lilian Ude and the yellow greens, the female yellow greens. 4 runs coming off the first. Second over, of course, coming in from the pavilion end. Sharing the new cherry, of course, with Lilian Ude is the experienced anointed Akibe. She's been very, very good. Generates a lot of pace up front, up against one of the most experienced players in this tournament. She might be playing for the under 19, but she's been exposed to the highest level in beloved Biza.
Spot on, and clearly she's struggling there to get a rhythm. Nothing yet, but this is the second over if you are just joining us. The score is 4 runs, and after the first over, and clearly this looks like the match of the day from all indications, and the Zimbabwean would be looking to make a huge statement here. This is a brilliant line, good exposure for the Zimbabwean under 19 team, and interesting to see how, and this is the first time a test playing nation, South Africa and Zimbabwe, will be touring Nigeria. Thanks to Providence Bank, Russo, Advisory and Dafabet, who have made this possible.
Very good defensive shot there, you'd say, from Bilal Visa. Into the pads, walked on the onside, run out chance, direct hit. Ooh. She would have gone with the stamps, is the fielder. Believe that's Lucky Paiti. But instead, she decides to throw the ball to the bowler. She lives to die another day as she gets off the mark is beloved Biza, shot number 3. Risky on that occasion. The communication between the wickets have not been the best. A lot of run-outs in the first game. Something they need to adjust as soon as possible. You can't afford to give away many run-outs in this shorter format of the game. But of course, with that single, allows Nicolette Nika to take strike from the other end for the very first time. She got off in style with that lovely square-driven cut shot for a boundary up against anointed Akibe.
Straight to the field at mid-wicket. Didn't carry much. A bit of aggression potentials there, but didn't happen. Clearly, there's a plan here. Anointed leading the pack for Nigeria. She will bowling from the court of from the pavilion end of the TBS Oval. Still struggling for that reading, but yet Zimbabwe yet to get off her bowling attack. Brilliant, and that's the one. Consistency, resilience would pay off. Anointed, she is anointed indeed.
What a dream delivery there from Anointed, making the inroads, top of off they say. Look at that again. Took the last minute shape away from the right hander, taking that off stump out of the ground as they draw fast blood, picking up the very first wicket of the Zimbabwe under 19, having won the toss. They find themselves on 5 runs for the loss of the first wicket. Walking back to the dugout is Nicolette Nika. And Nokutenda Makaniwa, right hand batter, joins beloved Biza.
And clearly lined up delivery, just slanting that bat. Should have been full face, and that hit top of up stump. That's the line where you want to be at any point when bowling. I'll say she's got the potential. Just hiding the bat around the pad. The bat should be coming forward with that slant angle in soft hands, and perhaps maybe something just wrong with where she's taking her guard from, and probably thought she covered the off stump line, but no, it's Anointed who smiled at the end.
When you look at that dismissal once again, Andy, you might think she was caught out in 2 minds, trying to defend and then tries to open up that full face. And then she ends up exposing that little gap. But what a dream delivery there from Anointed Akibe. The coaches will be very, very happy. This is exactly where they teach the bowlers to hit. 5 for 1 after 1.4. Nokutenda Makaniwa joins beloved Biza. Beloved Biza on the other hand, she will be the wicket they would love to target.
Yeah, wide delivery and 2 to come from the second over. It would be nice to see how beloved would transcend this game and pace herself to ensure a defendable total. But it's the Nigerian side that are excited, all in excitement at this moment with that wicket. Brilliant delivery from Anointed. This time trying to do too much, but Zimbabwe will be happy to take those ones. Missing on this lineup. They will say a big shout this time. Umpire thinks he's drifting down leg side. And Pekulia used to steam in nicely. She's away from this one. Perhaps recovering from injury. Brilliant shout. Good question asked there. Hopefully Anointed.
Very close call there from the debutant, Ange Nicole, all the way from Rwanda, saying he was missing the leg stamper. Last ball from our very first over. Full on that occasion. She will have to reball. That is Anointed. Straight down the leg side.
I used to say keep things simple. Maybe she's trying too hard to get through this one. Trying to swing it. Just keep it simple. The delivery that got the wicket will remain potent ball against any batter in this tournament. She has to clearly show that consistency. And the last delivery of the second over. Yeah, that room there for the take, but didn't really get on that one. No contender. That's the end of the second over. The score is 7-1.
A very good over there from Anointed, despite, of course, going for a couple of extras. She finishes picking up the very first wicket, going for 3 runs. Let's have a look at the two sides. Lucky Paiti, the captain at the cooler shoulder. Amusa Kehinde, one of the players to watch out for in this tournament. Anointed, of course, having bowled the second over of the game. Christabel Chukwonye, Esther Sandy, Etim Sarah behind the stumps. Victory, Peace Hussein, Salome Sunday, and Ude Lilian and Queen Joseph. Zimbabwe under 19 side.
Oh, clearly. But let's see Maposa, beloved Biza, that big one, Christina Mutasa, Lorena Pehiwa. Tell you what, yeah, Nicolo Inyeta, Salem Museka, Shaman Mayukwi. And this side, I tell you what, is the future. A lot to play for here. When we come through with South African side tomorrow, you will see the future World Cup players. A lot of them, Nigeria, as well as Rwanda, will be playing to qualify for that World Cup from the African continent. And this is a base, will I say, a platform for them to go through that one. Later in the year, in June, we'll be seeing a lot of them during the Quebec tournament. How many of them will field on the 19 sides to make sure they give that exposure? And then in Tanzania will be the big qualifying one for the African continent for teams, 2 teams to go through.
Ude back into the attacker, into the pads, worked on the onside, looking for the double at these two. Very quick between the wickets is beloved Biza and Nokutenda. A lot of games and tournaments coming in later in the year, of course, as you heard my mates, and it is a very good exposure to the youngsters, especially the 2 under-19s, Zimbabwe and South Africa, and of course the likes of the Kehinde Amusa, Christabel Chukwonye, Lucky Paiti, to still showcase their skills.
I haven't started my career at the under-19 level. Looking forward to see more youngsters come through. I'll tell you what, Nigeria just ended their national under-17 championship, where the crop of the next under-19 players will be selected from, and that's the tournament pathway here in Nigeria. And trust me, you would see a lot of youngsters come through, a couple of them in this Nigerian side, but hopefully they make a statement for themselves and take this as a big opportunity for a future yet to come.
On that occasion again, I walked on the onside, takes on the fielder at mid-on for a quick run between the wickets. Very good rotation of striker. They are not allowing the bowlers to get on top of them. Is beloved Biza and Nokutenda. Normally beloved Biza takes her time. She doesn't mind taking 1 over or even 2 overs. And then maybe she can switch gears later on. Whitish delivery, but this time around the umpire acknowledges, indicating a lot of extras here. Andy,
I would say the Nigerian bowlers have struggled this afternoon with the rhythm. Lilian Ude seems not coming through. She's bowling flat-footed, I'll say. Usually she comes and really goes high up, and which gives her that length and bounce. But so far, she has struggled. Hopefully something she's trying to work around. I hope she hasn't changed her rhythm. You can see she usually really goes up, but she's flat, bowling really flat. We're not seeing that jump or leap from her before you get to the batting craze or popping craze.
should love, of course, to correct that, Mr. Andy. You can see exactly what you've been talking about. She is struggling in her run-up. course, they are no longer with their coach Leke, who now joined the men's. Who's been part of them for quite some time.
The same setup is still there. Theophilus, who was the assistant coach, is now in charge here. Sarah Bakita and the team's team manager. This time short and wide. Couldn't get hold of that one. Nakutenda will have to wait next delivery to hopefully get a hinge on that one. It's into the last delivery of the third over of this first innings encounter between Nigeria and Zimbabwe under 19.
Well played again with the full face of the blade as we come to the end of the third over. It is 13-1. Zimbabwe under 19s. Anointed will be bowling her second. Went for only 4. Picked up the very first wicket of Nicolette Nika. She has a third man in play and a deep extra cover. So you will understand she's trying to target that top of off. Full on that occasion, soft answer. Trying to sneak in for a quick run, but the fielders are very agile in the 30-yard.
Well, clearly, I like the intent of the batter, beloved. And she looks solid, presenting that foot face, not shy to go through that line. But she's been asked a lot of questions here by Anointed.
Told you earlier she likes taking her time at the crease to get her eye in. Now, given that this is their very first time playing in Lagos on the Tafawa Balewa Square, but we all know what capable the skill she possesses.
Strike rate at 50. Brilliant shot. She goes big. Yes, would that go the way? A big chase. No fielder comes around it. Brilliant piece of work here. She ran really deep to save that one.
Not a bad move there from beloved Biza, taking a little shimmy, trying to get to the reach of the ball. Of course, using the fact that they have only 2 fielders outside the ring where there's deep extra cover and third man. She's trying to clear the straighter boundaries. Takes a little shimmy again. Up, one bouncer over the ropes. This time round, she gets the match connection she deserved. Breaking the shackles.
Beloved Biza, they call her. It was there in the slot and she goes big, showing some comfort and confidence. Just a bounce before hitting the boundary. 4 runs to her name. Bringing her strike rate to 119 for 1 after 3.4. I think the Nigerian team need to think this around and think this one through. Anointed, she's got plenty to do here, but bowling against a seasoned campaigner. Yeah, some confidence here. Nigeria this time got protection for Anointed. Salome Sunday, the player moved to the long on boundary.
They deploy a fielder in the deeper. It's the yellow greens. Lovely shot down the ground, but this time round, not enough timing again. Straight to the fielder at mid-off for another dot ball. Very good first 2 overs there from Anointed, despite the fact that she gave away 3 extras in her very first over.
I think she looks the part. This looks a very competitive encounter. Short and wide, misses out on that one, beloved. And that's the end of the 4th over. It is 19-4. After 4 overs.
There will be a change in the bowling from the Court of Appeal end. It's going to be spin coming from the Court of Appeal end. St. Pisa had a very good Under-19 World Cup tournament. Goes for a big sweep shorter, doesn't get enough timing. They will be looking for the double at these two. Wrong end from the fielder in the deeper as they pick up a double. Trying to take the spinner under the pump is Nokutenda and Beloved Biza. They would love to get to that 35 or even 40 right after the power play. They won the toss. They decided to have a bat first.
Brilliant line again. Fantastic response from Nokutenda. Clearly, how important this is for Zimbabwe under 19. Did well to qualify for the World Cup. Next World Cup coming through the top 8 teams at the last World Cup, and that gives them a place in the next one. Blessing saw him a couple of days back, returning to India for the IPL. That's a big statement for him.
Walked on the leg side, a half-tracker ball there from Apis Usena. Can this race away to the boundary? The chase is on by the two fielders. Very good fielding in partnerships, denying them the 3rd run. Having a chat with her bowler. The experienced at the shoulder at the Kunle. The leg breaker. Expect to see her coming from the other end of the pavilion end. 24 for 1 after 4.4. Moving at 5.1. Up, there's a fielder. He will drop short at the fielder at long on. Very smart bowling there from Peace Usena. Using the dimensions of the ground. She knows she has only one fielder on the onside backing her up. Soft hands from Nokutenda, but nowhere to go, says Christabel at short fine leg. As we come to the end of the 5th, it's 25 for 1.
And clearly, there's plenty to play for here. It's just 5 of us through. It will be nice to see Beloved bat through this innings, and we might see some amazing figures and numbers here at the end of this innings. She's got the potential and what it takes. Joining in the comms box will be our main man who took the toss, Jida Gwasheon and Peter. And Peter, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Andy. Thank you very much. Been watching this game from outside. It's been very competitive. The Zimbabwe under 19, giving the female yellow greens a very difficult time.
Kehinde Amusa, the player of the year, comes into ball the last over of the power play. Shot number 7. Walked on the onside, using the pace of Kahinde Amusa as they pick up yet another boundary. Courtesy of beloved Biza. Picked up length quite early.
That ball should not have gone there. She put it at below Biza's favorite angle, favorite place, and she dealt with it the best way possible. Adding 4 more runs. Amusa could have done better, but regardless, that is the punishment for those kind of balls. Below Biza, he's drifting comfortable. You know, I remember she was part of the squad that played the female Yellow Greens in the World Cup qualifiers. She didn't get the chance to bat, but she was part of the team that picked up the victory. With her level of composure, it's still very. She bats better than a regular 17-year-old.
Absolutely, these two know a thing or two. Very good comeback there from Kehinde Amusa after going for a boundary. Bowling into the pitch. Leg cutter on that occasion. Nearly takes the outside edge. A very smart bowler she is. She's done a tremendous job in the last year for the female Yellow Greens. Played a crucial part in the Kwibuka tournament. She's always contributing with bat and ball. Into the pitch again, rocked on the back footer, but there's protection in the deep. 2 is the caller. Should pick up a double with ease. Very good running between the wickets. They need more runs in the power play. To be precise, in the next 3 deliveries. They move to 31 for the loss of 1 inside 5.3. 5.4, beg your pardon. 2 more deliveries to come. They need a boundary. Beloved Biza, who's already into the 19s of 18. Only player who was featured in the ODI. She possesses a lot of experience, as I mentioned earlier. They know very well the female Yellow Greens that this is the wicket they need. Into the pitch again, plays it on the back foot, straight to the fielder at covers. Another dot ball. You would say this is turning out to be a very good over from Kehinde Amusa, given that she is bowling at the last over of the power play. She's gone for only 6 runs.
The 4 runs that she considered was courtesy of a ball she put on the leg. Every that ball that she's put in the right place has been difficult to play.
Plays it again on the back footer. She takes on the arm of the fielder. A bit of good running, good communication between the two in beloved Biza and Nokutenda. And of course, with that single, we come to the end of the power play. It is a 32 for the loss of 1. Zimbabwe under 19, having won the toss. The end of the power play, a very, very good power play for both sides. Like the Yellow Greens have picked up a wicket, of course, and the Zimbabwe under 19 are sitting on 32, moving at 5.3 runs and over. More spin from the Court of Appeal end. Peace Hussein to bowl her second. Now the field is spread. It's going to be an interesting phase. These two have been running superbly between the wickets. They have a deep extra cover, long off, deep mid wicket, and on gone. Those are the boundary riders for Peace Hussein. Plays on the onside again. A very good running between the wickets.
The Nigerian national team side is still one of the youngest national teams in cricket. We've got vast majority of these ladies that played in the under-19 World Cup already in the national team. They've been in the national team setup when came back and is still delivering. And Pius Hussein just keeps getting better and better. Every time you see her with that ball, that turn she puts behind the ball, the bounce and the turn that that comes afterwards is usually quite very unplayable most of the time.
It's very, very late. Is Nokutenda trying, of course, to pick up that gap between backward point and covers. 6 point, 4 overs. They've managed to make sure they are keeping the boundary options out of the cards. Are the female yellow greens. Full on the occasion in the air. By all drop shot at the two fielders in covers. As they keep out the scoreboard ticking at these two. Very smart bowling from Peace Hussein and Kehinde Amusa. Bowling in partnerships, they always teach us. She's already into the 20s, is beloved Biza. With her highest score being 46 in T20 eyes, if I'm not mistaken. In the air again, but this time round straight to the fielder at pointer. Commentators cast as she has to depart. It is the big fish, courtesy of Peace Hussein. The leg breaker deceives our beloved Biza, who went through the shot very early. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Give us the replay.
It has been long coming. That ball from Peace Hussein, that loved the turn, that late turn was just what that ball needed. Peace beloved had already committed to a shot and just couldn't take a bat away when that ball was turning away into the arms of the fielder who was eagerly awaiting. The wicket had been long coming. Beloved had been really testing the field setup for this Nigerian side, and now they've gotten a wicket. Remains to see who in this team can really step up and continue in the field that she started with. We saw in the first game, we saw how Fanny stepped up for Rwanda. We saw Kate Ovua step up for Ghana in the second innings. This inning, beloved was a stepper, was the one who stepped up for Zimbabwe. A lot more wickets and a lot more to see from this very young and fighting side of Zimbabwe.
34 for 2 after 7 overs. Beloved Biza, of course, the last wicket. She will need to rethink and see how she got out. You don't want to see your experienced batter getting out on the over ball. Would have been an easy single, given that she is the most experienced batter. But they don't mind these wickets coming in handy. Are the female yellow greens? Karasi again goes to the captain, trusting the spinners to do the job. New batter in is Lorraine, who joins Nokutenda. And the captain takes matters into her own as she is bowling right arm round to the right-handers. This the outside edge straight away is Lucky Paiti. She's one of the players with the golden arm. She's always contributing and dominating with both bat and ball. She is a fighter. She has a lot of variations and she will make sure she rushes the batters. Doesn't give you enough time to think.
P certainly has cracked the code, and the female yellow greens understand that now it's very difficult that the batters of Zimbabwe tend to keep their temperament against spin bowlers, and they decided to go with that measure, with that attacking pattern, and it seems to be paying off.
Full on that occasion, what a shot of the day for me from Nokutenda, with offered on that occasion from the captain Lucky Paiti.
Picked that first bounce from the ball, and the infielder couldn't reach down enough. That ball just raced all the way to the boundary. Very fantastic cover drive. 4 more runs for Zimbabwe.
Lovely shot. She didn't even try to overhit that one. Allowing, of course, the outfield, which has been very electric, giving credit to all the shots you play. 38 for 2 after 7.4.
A little bit of withdrawal of the ball from Lucky Paiti. The last one was full, and that was why it was played into the gap. This time around, she's drawn the ball back a bit, making the batter play on the back foot.
It's always a good sign, of course, especially when you're a bowler, to force the batter to play you down the ground, where she has a lot of protection, long off, long on, and deep mid-wicket and deep square leg. Walked on the outside on this time. Two is the call. Can they take on the arm of the fielder in the deep, or they decide otherwise? In order of taking those risks as we come to the end of the 8th. Scoreboard rating 39 for 2. Zimbabwe under 19s. Let's have a look at the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20I Zimbabwe batting charter. Nicolette Nyika, bowled by a dream over delivery from anointed Azimoy Akibe for her 4 of 8. Beloved Biza, who was looking in fine touch, had to depart, being outfoxed by Peace Hussein's leg break, finding the only fielder at point Salome Sunday. And those two, Nokutenda and Lorena, are still out there, not out. 5 extras being bowled by the female Yellow Greens in their 8 overs being bowled. 39 for 2, as I welcome the man who was out there in the middle with the two captains to take us through and of course tell us the message from the two captains. Welcome, Mr. Ajidabai.
Thank you, my brother, my friend, Bob Bashir Songa. Super excited to be back again at the commentary position. Great job you guys are doing. And I was almost going to be welcomed with a wicket. But Mokutenda survived the scare and she will continue to bat. While at the center, Peter, the captain of Zimbabwe under-19 team, Bulentosi Mapusa, won the toss and elected to bat. And when I asked the captain of Nigeria, Lucky Paiti, they had won the toss, what would they have done? Said, this is a batting surface, we have got to bat. But again, you don't go to war with one plan. You have several plans that we have lined up. And one of those plans is to stop our opponents from scoring runs that will be too difficult for us to surpass going into the second inning. Peter, over to you.
I couldn't help but agree with you, Ajidagba. Every game you have to go with a plan B. If you want to bat first, it is a 50-50 chance once the coin is in the air. Loud appeal. The umpire's finger was delayed, but still comes up anyway. And it is an out. Nokutenda persevered hard. But Peace with another wicket. Straight into the pads. Didn't expect that turn. Expected the turn to go. But that turn was just very, very slight and made contact with her pad. And she knows that was an out. She knows where her foot was and didn't even throw a fist. Nokutenda will depart. And Tadiwa Garuta is the new batter to come in to pair with Lorraine Pemhiwa.
The female Yellow Greens 2023 champions are keeping their opponents in a place they want them to be. And I remember asking yesterday Bulentoshi Mapusa, the captain of the Zimbabwean under-19 team, is it about revenge or confirmation of supremacy? Don't forget, Nigeria are playing at the World Cup for the very first time at under-19 level in Malaysia. Was owing to the fact that they defeated Team Zimbabwe in Rwanda in the group stage, but unfortunately, heavens opened up in the final, and what had to be the distinguishing factor, an opportunity there, was that win they got in the group stage. And so this one is another battle on our hands.
That would have been a very beautiful catch if it ended up in the hands of the fielder. But a scare for Tadiwa, who just came in and will have gone out with a golden duck. The reaction seems to be a little bit of an issue, probably from the bowler's bowl, as the two batters have not really been able to keep the balls on the ground, skying the balls just a few meters away from the grip of a fielder. Peace doing a very excellent work since she's got that ball. 2 wickets already.
It will interest you to know that Peace Hussein, who made her debut for Nigeria at the African Games in Achimota, Ghana, where Nigeria unexpectedly claimed bronze over the Victoria Pearls, a victory Nigeria will always look back to. Her name is Peace, but she's not giving the batters peace in the batting crease. And after the end of the night over, 44 runs for loss of 3 wickets. And the 2 batters that are currently batting, Lauren Pemihiwa and of course Tadiwa Garutsa. The current run rate is at 4.89, and if he goes like this, the projected score will be 98. Tadiwa is already on 100% strike rate, 2 balls faced, 2 runs scored, same as Lauren. And back at the pavilion end is the captain of the side, Lucky Piety, the best batter at the Under-19 World Cup in Malaysia.
And let's not also forget she was the best batter at the recently concluded African Women's World Cup qualifiers, despite Nigeria finish on the table. She came out with the best batter recognition. Hussein Peace didn't give Lucky Piety a chance to come back at beloved Biza. She took that wicket before Lucky Piety should come back and have a ball bowled. Their approach, jump scare from Zimbabwe, not trying to take too much risk. Lost 2 wickets to an LBW appeal from spin bowling, and that has prompted them to just attack the ball as it comes, not trying to do anything extra. A short ball couldn't be dealt with, is it? Good call from Lorraine, beckoning on to Diwa for a quick single, which they complete. Lorraine will be on strike. The first run coming off the 5th ball of Lucky Piety's second over. The run seems to have slowed down since beloved got out an over ago. Lucky Piety was really hopeful, but you know the rules. Ball outside of leg can't not be an LBW regardless of the outcome. And that is the midway point of this game. 45-4-3 and into the drinks break.
And of course, looking at how things have panned out, Lorraine has faced 3 balls, scored 2 runs. Tadiwa has faced 7 balls and scored 3 runs. Lucky Piety is still in search of our first wicket after bowling 2 overs. See that again on replay. How the wickets were tumbling. Skies it up, and that went for a boundary. Highlight of what has happened in the first 10 overs. Down the leg side, sent to a place she didn't want to go to. Plays it safe, and that will race for 4. All effort by Sandy and Lillian was in futility. Yes, Shiolise had no other choice than to race that index finger that batters don't like to see. If I'm going to ask you this question, Peter, what we are seeing in the second game is a sharp contrast to what we saw in the first game. The new ICC slogan is that first 6 overs you launch, the 7th over to the 14th over you consolidate, the 15th over to the 17th over you accelerate, and then the 18th over to the 20th over you finish. Looking at where we are now after the launch and the consolidation, how has the Zimbabwean under-19 fared?
Oh, you have to first of all recognize that there's still a youth side playing against a very much experienced Nigerian side who've been, this is not the first time together. There are very few debutants. Some of them have been playing in this competition since the 3rd edition of this Nigerian Women's Championship. I missed a couple of other international appearances. So they have that experience. They know what it takes. And they are capitalizing on that against an inexperienced Zimbabwe side. So the experience will always prevail.
And that is what they call the commentator's course. And just after that drinks break, Tadiwa will have to go and meet the teammates at the pavilion following that catch by Christabel Chukwuonye. See that again on replay. She had to go for it. She's not giving them any peace.
Yeah, Chukwuonye has been one of my favorite fielders. She's been very effective. Good, quick. When you look at Chukwuonye, you see how this is maybe a little girl who you can just, take quick singles off. But I assure you, she is very sharp on the field, on pickups and through, as she is in her field setting. I rarely see her drop catches. On a good day, she's taking every ball that comes into her premises, and this is just one of them. One of the most consistent players on the field side. Her batting has not really been too. She's been a little bit of inconsistent, but lately she's been back on form, and she's going to show that probably in the second inning if she gets the chance to bat.
Again, you have to chronicle the growth of Peace Hussein. The trajectory is on a geometric progression, if I can use that English. I said it that our first tournament for Nigeria was in Achimota, Ghana at the African Games. And in that tournament, despite Nigeria being the lowest ranked team and the youngest team at that tournament, they went ahead against all the odds to win a bronze medal over the Victoria Pearls. And not only that, this youngster emerged the 5th best most valuable player. Another wicket.
It is not looking good. The wicket are falling already into the middle order. That was an unnecessary risk. Should have not taken it in the first place. That defense had pushed the ball too far. If she had successfully killed the ball down, it would have been possible. But that ball was still traveling, and as such was unnecessary. Another wicket lost, and that's exactly why I talked about when I talked of experience. Experience always trivial. They felt that because the intention behind that ball wasn't a shot, and as such it was a platform for a run, which turned out to be the opposite. An experienced player will understand that that was a very huge risk and an unnecessary risk at this point in time in the game. Another wicket lost, and another trip back to the drawing board for Zimbabwe.
And that was the wicket of Salem Museka. Salem Museka is gone, and a new batter comes in. 5 wicket down. Certainly not what they envisaged, but it's the reality that is tearing Team Zimbabwe under 19 in the face.
A lot of fear has been sent into the body of the Zimbabwe batters. 2 run out already in this inning for them. Goes on one knee. The shot wasn't really big. Chance for 2 runs, and they will take it to end the 11th over. 49 on the board. Already halfway into the batting order after 11 overs.
I'm sure what is going on in the mind of the lady who manages the team, Susan Kudubatira, is that can I have a partnership that works for me to see a classic batting performance, and we have not been able to see that. Just maybe Christina Mutasa and Lauren Pemhiwa can form a partnership that works. But looking at the bowling prowess of the female yellow green, you want to say that they are not leaving anything to chance. And to think that the captain of this team and the vice captain at under 19 level is out through surgery. Peculiar Agboya, we wish her a speedy recovery. They call her the woodpecker. Is not part of this team. It all shows that this team is a well-oiled team that are moving in the upward trajectory.
A lot of experience in the side. At this point, I feel anybody can step up. Look at the West African Trophy, where Suleiman Rusewe was given the captaincy role, and he excelled with the team. The team brought home the gold medal in the leg side and sent to the boundary for a 4. Not a comeback. Good comeback from Anointed. That ball was swinging, wasn't anywhere near the Storms, and she dealt with it. Christina dealt with it amicably. 4 more runs for Zimbabwe. The captaincy of Lucky Party being put to the test here, because she has to coordinate the team, to tell them where they should make corrections, and how they should bowl to the batters.
One thing Anointed Ahigbe has learned from this is that if she continues to do what she did in the first ball of the 12th over that made Christina send her to the boundary, if she does that consistently, she will have no choice than to go to pick her balls at the boundary.
Ball swinging in, and just too close for Christina to send to the leg side. A dot. Anointed. Very good momentum of the first 2 overs she bowled. Gave out just 10 runs in 2 overs. 4 more already in this over. A bold it is. In swing ball from Anointed Akibe. Didn't see it coming. Christina expecting a ball to swing outside of leg so she can send it to the boundary like earlier. The ball came in dead flat. And when you look at the replay again, run up, and then that pitch just went straight, not swing behind that ball, just straight to the stumps. Christiana did not anticipate a straight ball, and as such, another wicket has dropped. The wickets are dropping very, very fast. Nobody has been able to step up to replicate what beloved Biza was doing in that batting crease. Already, she was into double figures, 23 before going out. Now, nobody has been able to get into double figures before being dismissed. And that just tells you the level of inexperience on this side. They are still very young, and this is more of a test to them. Build up their confidence, let them go back to the drawing board and know that there's still much more to be developed in terms of their playing, the technique, and their composure in the batting crease.
Maybe we might just get that partnership that Peter is actually asking for. And in comes Shaman Mayuki. To have a feel of what Anointed is doing with the ball.
That ball was towards the leg side. Already into the middle order. Shermaine doesn't have that much of an experience to deal with a ball like that because of the pitch and the pace behind it. If below Biza was there, that ball would have been sent to the boundary. But regardless, that is why they took her out very quickly. And another wicket. Another wicket. 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 Anointed Akigbe bouncing back. She's been bowling in varieties, testing the batters, giving them an impression that she goes to the leg side very often. And then the next ball she bowls is in a straight line to the stumps. Very, very unpredictable bowler that she is. Very similar to the ball that took out Christine. That line stepped outside, wanting to play a leg drive for a ball that wasn't swinging at all, and the price was paid. Anointed, very, very beautiful one from Anointed. 2 wickets already for her and 3 for Peace Hussein as well. It's not looking good for Zimbabwe. Inexperience is taking a toll on the inexperience and naivety of the Zimbabwe batting order.
And in comes captain that we expect to come play a captain's innings. Bule Mbenkosi Mapusa. That again on replay. How Anointed sent back the batter.
2 wickets already in this over. One more ball. Already into the tail end order. Anointed will have to wait a little bit longer as the shuffle in the run-up says Anointed halt our delivery, and we go back to restart the last ball. Wide ball, an impression. This time there wasn't any contact, and she's gone back to give it the impression that she doesn't really do too well with an offside ball. The next ball, watch out for it, is coming for the Storms. If Maposa doesn't deal with it amicably, she is going to have to join her colleagues in the stands too soon. Dealt with caught to the gap. A fielder was there at backward point. 1 run, 2 wickets taken in this over, and 12th over comes to an end. It's 55 on the board, just 7 wickets taken. 3 more in 8 overs to go. Very interesting game so far. I bet Bob will even tell it better as the innings is drawing closer to an end. Bob, take over.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you to, of course, our lovely viewers wherever you're watching this live. The 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20 tournament live here at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. The last time I was in the commentary box right after the 8th over, it was Zimbabwe, the young lady Chevron, sitting on 39 for the loss of 2 wickets. They have managed to lose 5 wickets for just 14 runs. That shows you how good Lucky Paiti has been rotating her bowlers. The spinners, of course, Hussein Peace picking up 2 wickets from the last over of our first spell, and Anointed being used like the insurance policy. Cut away powerfully this time round. Chips in a diver. Run out chance again. And the run out is being completed again. A comedy of errors. Make that 6 wickets falling in no time for the young lady Chevrons. Nothing is working out for them, having won the toss. They have found themselves at 55 for the loss of 8 wickets, courtesy of the collective performance of the female Yellow Greens. Let's have a look at that again. Very good throw. She wasn't even in the frame. Sarah Etim, the wicketkeeper batter, doing an easy job effecting that run out. What a day they're having in the field is the female Yellow Greens. Remember, they lost the toss and they were put in to have the ball faster. A lot of credit here, you would say, Ajidaba, to the captain, Lucky Paiti. Everyone is up on their feet here. The crowd is catching up here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. Already into the tail. The big question here, Ajidaba, is can this tail of the young lady Chevrons work for them and get to at least anything close to that 80 plus runs? That's the run out, of course, in the deep. Very good throw from Lilian Ude. Good arm. Easy decisions there from the debutant, all the way from Rwanda, Anje Nicole. .56 for 8 after 12.1. Tatulo on the occasion from Lilian Ude. Down the leg side from the experienced Lilian Ude. I'm not sure why she's trying a lot of things. Love to see her bowling it straight and full, given that she is bowling to what we normally say the tail enders. Given that the fine leg is inside the ring, anything that gets off the inside blade over the new batter at the crease can easily go to the boundary. Much better line and length there from Lilian Ude.
Bob, one of the things left-hand batters try to do is to constitute a positive nuisance in the batting crease. And we are expecting Muyanyasha Mandizora to do something with the bat. Much better bowling. Again, Bob, while we agree that this is an under-19 side facing a national team, it is also safe to say that there are always some things you could pick from. They are in the same age bracket. The likes of Peace Hussein and the Adekunle Adesholas in the squad, they are in the same age bracket. And I know that the coach of the Zimbabwean team is using this as a preparatory game for the qualifiers that is coming up. But with this kind of performance, this is not what we envisage.
About the qualifiers, expect to see a lot of good cricket. Having, of course, had this opportunity to come and play a couple of games at the Zimbabwe Under-19s, the young lady chevrons and the female yellow greens. Very good point you make there. These two sides, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, most of the players were part of that qualifier back in Rwanda, where, of course, the female yellow greens qualified to the very first time to play in the Under-19 World Cup. Zimbabwe, on the other side, missed out when the heavens opened in Gahanga, and they qualified by the marginest of errors there. One of the things we keep talking about, if you are strong with someone, make sure you go for the kill. Net run rate plays a crucial part. Run out chance again, miscommunication. Committee of errors again. The communication has been not the best, you'd say. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Coming around the wicket from the captain, Lucky Paiti, nearly collides with the wicketkeeper Sarah Etima, telling her captain, I had this. But they don't mind the dot balls coming in handy. Is the female yellow greens. They know anything below 70. It is a belter of a wicket. We saw in the first game Rwanda scoring 210. Should be an easy chase for them, you'd say. They've done the hard work, putting on a collective performance. Plays it very late, a lovely shot, square driven. Save your legs, young lady, as Lorraine, who's been watching a lot of action from the other end. She watched 5 wickets fall from the other end. She has decided to take matters into her own hands. Run the wicket from the captain with Ofada. A lot of venom coming out of that cut shot from Lorraine. They need more of these boundaries.
And talking about needing more of those boundaries so we can have a game to watch in the second innings, because this is almost looking like a cakewalk. Although in cricket, impossibility is nothing. I've seen stranger things happen. But up until this moment, Nigeria are really grinding the team of the Zimbabweans, ensuring that they don't score. But again, back-to-back boundaries, 2 boundaries in 1 over is a welcome development for the under-19 team of Zimbabwe.
Round the wicket again from the captain. Half tracker there. Uses the pace. Is Lorraine as she picks up yet another boundary. Turning out to be a very, very good over here for the young lady chevrons. 9 runs coming off for the first 5. Not the best of outings from the captain with the ball in hand. Last ball. Short ball again. Very early into the shot is Lorraine. Loud appeal by the umpire just gives Lucky Paiti a smile. It is the end of the 14th, 66 for 8. This is Zimbabwe under 19.
And based on the projected score, the Zimbabwean under-19 team can finish on 94, which is 6 short of half century, because the current run rate is at 4.71. But again, that is what the projected score is. Nigeria can decide to say, we don't want them to get up to that, knowing that they have just 2 more wickets left. But this duo, Muna Yasha and Lorraine, have combined to face 23 balls and have scored 14 runs. They want to build more partnership that can take them home and make them have a fighting chance in the second innings.
Kainde Amusa will be changing ends, coming in from the Court of Appeal end. Ball a very good fast spell. Went for only 7. She has a deep extra cover, deep square leg, deep mid wicket. Those are the only 3 boundary riders. Short ball, touch and go from these two. Very smart batting from Munenye Shawa and Lauren. Love the fact that Munenye, she knows the situation coming in as the tail ender. She is making sure Lauren faces more deliveries. Let's have a look at the field setting for Lorena. Deep extra cover again, shot on that occasion. Wonderfully played from Lorena. She knows she would love to get to the back end of these first innings. The longer she stays there, the more runs they will get at Jidaba. Cut away powerfully, but this time round there is a fielder at 45 at extra cover. Now the big question here is, how do you bat with the tail ender? Is she gonna keep on getting those singles to expose Munenye Shah?
Big question posed there by Bob. And I know what is on the mind of Amusa is to get a wicket. Great backup there by Munenye Shah. Else it could have been another disastrous moment. See that again on replay. Lovely piece of fielding there. Currently in the 15th over. 68 for 8. Good call there by Lauren. Let's take one, knowing that the striker did not see where the trajectory of the ball went. But she, as a non-striker, can see and see clearly. And the last good ball of this over will be faced by Lauren. Amusa still in search of her first wicket. Made her debut for Nigeria in Malaysia and almost immediately became a household name. There's a language in the South, precisely Edo State, they call it Agbemugbe. That means you kill me today, we die here. And that's what she did. That having gotten this opportunity, I'm going to make it count, and I will not relinquish that position of mine. Not only is she a bowler, she's a very good batter and an all-rounder. 70 for 8, 15 overs gone.
There will be a change in the bowling as we see the introduction of the leg break at the Shola Adekunle coming in from the pavilion end. 70 for 8 after 15. Moving at 4.6 runs and over is the young Lady Chevrons. She's managed to pick up 16 wickets, if I'm not mistaken, in the 2 editions she's been part of is Adekule Adeshula. She will be spinning it away from the right-handers. She has a very good googly. Starts off with one. Uppish played there from Lorraine, looking for the second. Should be an easy double. That sloppy in the at the deep extra cover allows them to scamper for the second run. One short run indicates by the umpire. The plan is simple from Munenye Shah. She is trying to make sure Lorraine faces more deliveries. I don't mind that one short run. Full on that occasion. There is protection in the deep. They will settle for only one run. She had a very good outing on her debut is Adekunle Shola. Troubled most of the batters in that third edition. Should be an easy matchup here for Munenyasha, the left-handed batter. Full on that occasion, worked on the onside. They're running very hard, but Christabel Chatonza, she's very electric in the field. She will never give you a chance for that double. She knows one of the players who knows every single run matters. Walked on the onside again to the sweeper. Not a bad over, you'd say, here for the young lady chevrons. Keeping the scoreboard ticking is the way to go. 74 for 8 after 15.4. This partnership is giving a headache to the female yellow greens, you'd say, Ajidaba.
Absolutely, I can't agree less with you. And that's what Susan, the team manager, has been envisaging alongside the coach. That let me have a partnership, because that partnership is what works. Oh my world, these people are something else. They finally got that partnership broken after combining to score 22 runs, haven't faced 27 balls. See that again on replay. Full. She had no other option. Igihizo. And of course, Diam are the two umpires. See that again on replay. For some minutes, she had to do that. And of course, Siolise, Diam, had no other choice than to assist Igihizo, Nico, in saying, I saw that clearly. She was out of the batting crease. And in comes jersey number 22, Tawanayasha Zomandrima.
All the best there in pronouncing that name again. 74 for 9 inside 15.5. To me here, Ajidaba, the fielding has been superb. Already effected 3 run-outs in the first innings. Courtesy of course, the likes of Christabel Chukwonye and Peace Hussein, who's been very, very electric in the field. Last wicket, Adekule Shola coming round the wicket to the left-handers. Last ball. 17 from 16 from Lorraine, who has watched 7 wickets from the other end. Full on that occasion, beats the outside edge straight away. She lives to die. Another day is the new batter in, as Adekule Shola finishes her first over, going for only 4 runs. 74 for 9 after 16 overs. Let's have a look at the replay again of the run out. Full on that occasion, took the outside edge straight to the fielder at short third, who chipped in the diver. She had only 1 stump to aim at, and boy oh boy did she hit the bullseye. Easy decisions there for the umpire to make it the 3rd run out. 16 overs done and dusted for just 74 runs on board. For the very first time, a team coming all the way from Zimbabwe, playing at the Tafawa Balewa Square. You will have a chat with the manager maybe later on after the post-match, and she will tell you maybe one of the reasons. Shot on that occasion, misses it completely, is Lawrence. Will be looking for the second. But the good fielding from Christabel again, denying them that chance. Kehinde Amusa on the other side, she's been very tidy in her bowling. She is finishing her spell. It's the outside edge is Kehinda Amusa. She was the player of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
And I must say that she is a twin. The other twin is a student of University of Lagos studying industrial chemistry. And she is from Ladoke Akintola University, Lautech. That's where she is. Also in the university. So they are twin from the southwest, or your state to be precise. And that's where their trajectory of cricket started from. And they both play for a club in Nigeria called Ibadan Metropolitan Cricket Club, the Amusas.
Shot on the occasion, pulled away this time round. Sloppy from the fielder in the deeper. Going forward dive catcher. Ending up giving away unnecessarily boundary, you would say here. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Into the pitch on the occasion, pace owner. And Lorraine Peary, of course, I beg your pardon, Lorena. Taking a liking of that half tracker. Lilian Ude, who was caught napping in the deep. Allowing the ball to go all the way to the boundary. Very good story there, you would say, from the twins. One way or another, one of the twin sisters will feed the family. Laura Peel, and the finger is up. That should be the last nail in the coffin for the young lady chevrons. As Amusa, who was looking for the wicket in her last over quarter, makes sure the Zimbabwe under-19s are bowled out inside 16.5 for only 80 runs. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Over the wicket goes, shuffles across, tries to play it on the onside. Easy decision for the umpire, as the young lady chevrons have been bowled out for just 80 runs in 16.5, having won the toss, of course, deciding to have a bat faster. They found a very well collective performance from the lady female yellow greens, led by the captain, of course, Lucky Paiti. Lorraine with 22 off 19, and Beloved Biza, the experienced, 21 off 23, and Nokutenda 10 off 19.
And for the bowling, anointed Ozemoya Aigbe, 3 for 16 after 3 overs. Peace Usen, 3 wickets for 16 runs in 4 overs. And Amusa Kehinde Muibat, 1 wicket for 16 in 2.5 overs. That is how things have panned out as far as the first innings is concerned. We look forward to an entertaining second innings. Will Nigeria cross 81? Only time will tell.
Good afternoon and welcome to the second innings. Zimbabwe under 19 who had batted first. Pulled out for 16.5 overs. Lorene Pehiwa below Biza. Kutenda all in double figures 22, 21 and 10 respectively. Anointed Aigbe led the park 3 for 16 from 3. Peace Hussein 3 for 16 from 4. And Musa Kende Muhibat 1 for 16 from 2.5 overs. Required to win is 81 from 20 overs. Joining me in the comms box this afternoon for the second inning is my friend Bob from Rwanda. Bob, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Andy, and good afternoon to our lovely viewers wherever you're catching us live here at the Tafawa Balewa Square, live in Lagos. It is the 5th edition, match day 1, game number 2. Zimbabwe, of course, earlier had won the toss, decided to have a bat faster, but the female Yellow Greens put on a collective performances with the ball. It is done and dusted as we see the first ball worked on the onside as they get off the mark inside straight away. The captain herself, Lucky Paiti, opening the batting as she gets off the mark. Left arm quick coming in from the court of appeal end.
A decent start here for Nigeria on the mark straight away. The captain leading the park here.
Opening, of course, the bowling from the young Chevrons is none other than Christina Mutasa. She has quite some experience. She worked, of course, with the likes of Novimvelo Sibanda, who was the captain in last year's Kwibuka tournament.
I like the experience. I like the showmanship here by the Zimbabweans. Again, asking a few questions around that leg stump line. Neatly responded. Plenty expected here of the Nigerian team. How they pace this innings will determine how they progress in this tournament. And clearly, Igbinedion was been a mainstay alongside the captain herself, Lucky Paiti, would ensure they win this convincingly. And tucked away on the leg side. Second run on the way. There's 79 required from 116 deliveries.
Victory gets off the mark in Sila as a captain, of course, working it on the onside. She has a fine leg and a deep third man is Christina Mutasa. She would love to bowl to the right-handers given that she has that sharp in-swinger. There you go, no ball signal by the umpire.
Thought that was a brilliant line and length. That one came back in. She had shaped off to go on the offside. And clearly, on the replay, just a slight movement of the wicket and back into the batter.
Free hitter up against the captain. Full on the occasion. No timing whatsoever. She is very, very dangerous with the new ball is Christina Mutasa. I would love to see her making the inroads and try and see if she can put the female Yellow Greens on the back foot in the power play. It's not of much of runs they have. Just 78 runs for the female Yellow Greens to register. They are a very fast win in this 5th edition.
This is good experience for both teams.
Takes the outside edge on that occasion, no sleeping play. But there's a fielder in the deep at third man as they keep the scoreboard ticking. Lovely shape there from Christina Mutasa. This time round bowling it away from the right hander. A lot of variations.
A smart bowler she is. You can say that again. Waiting for things to happen for Zimbabwe. See how the Nigerian batters will manage this stage of the game. Wideish, and the umpire would signal that one. Happy to take that, being a Nigerian. 77 runs down required from 115 balls. 76 a delivery left in this first over. Man of many parts. Swings and misses on that one. Igbenedion not going to stick around without fighting and getting runs on the board. And that's the end of the first over. It is 5 for no loss.
Maposa will be sharing the new cherry with Christina Mutasa coming in from the pavilion end. She has a long gun. I beg your pardon. She has a third man and fine leg for the right-hander, Victory and Lucky Paiti.
It's a basic field placement here. All in the ring, but those two. Hopefully she bowls decently. Another lefty. Oh, slower delivery is smart bowling here, and this is going to require a lot of thinking for the Nigerian batters. The captain herself plenty on her shoulders. She's going to have to think through this one because nothing will come through so easily.
Andy, when you look at the last 5 deliveries, they've been trying to overhit the ball. I would love to see them using the full face. Get your eye in. Yes, it is 76 runs to get in 113, but you can't be swinging at everything. Tatulo again on the occasion from Maposa.
I think it's brilliant bowling. She needs to assess the situation, understand what the bowler is doing. These are left-armers. I see some finger rolling on the ball, not going through. So perhaps they have to think this through. And the captain herself, one would say, just see and ensure that you can get singles, and this time they sent on the wicket line. Another dot ball, 3 in this over already. This is a brilliant piece of bowling by the captain. A quiet speaker. Yesterday we saw that during the press conference. Not a captain of many words, but she seems to understand her business.
She loves, of course, to make her bad talk most of the times. Loud appeal on that occasion. But the umpire says he's not out. Very, very good bowling. I love the fact that the 2 left-handers are bowling into the right channels. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Ooh, nearly takes the pads and the off stump.
This is brilliant line. Showing some consistency here. Everything has been on that off stump line or just outside the off stump. This time comes on the wicket. Big shout. No way. Perhaps tripping down the leg side. Yeah, very, very, very disciplined bowling here by the captain of this under-19 side from Zimbabwe. 76 from 109 deliveries. Lucky Petty is struggling to get on with this one. A lot of questions. They will sneak in a single here. A brilliant over. Just a single from that over. And it is 6 for no loss after 2 overs.
$35 needed for the female yellow greens in 108. So far the 2 overs are being bowled have been tidy. Nearly goes for a maiden, despite of course the fact of that leg by signaled by the umpire. They've been bowling in the right channels. This time round should be a slip in play for Christina Mutasa. Adjusting their field. They have a third man and a wideish fine leg. Up against the captain who has so far faced 10 deliveries for her 3 runs. Swing and a miss again. Make that 5 dot balls for Lucky Paiti. Spoke about how she is trying to overhit the ball. I would love to see her use the full face of the bat. We've seen how the outfield has been electric.
Tactically here, you would say they're not having too many left-handers and the Nigerian side could be playing down here. Perhaps needs to face the bowler a bit. Brilliant. This time drifting down again. If she could just leave that delivery on the off stump line and finishing up on the middle stump. Because at the moment she's attacking the middle stump and finishing down the leg side. She's asking a couple of decent questions and might just be lucky to get a result. Lucky Paity not gotten any major contact yet. 3 of 12 deliveries.
Whitish on that occasion spoke about the outfield. Anything that comes out of the sweet spot of the blade will race away to the boundary as she breaks the shackles. Is the captain.
The delivery again. This time Whitish and room there. Lucky Petty's zone. And she was happy. Everyone on that arc is in the ring. And so anything that goes through there is a boundary. And that's the one they got. 2.3 overs bowled and 10 runs on the board. 71 from 105 balls.
Good failure for the young Christina Mutasa. She's missed out on the trick. She's been bowling full. And given the way she's getting that lateral movement, bowling a wide-ish delivery to Lucky Paiti, who is very strong square the wicket and pouncing on that. Much better comeback there. Worked on the onside. Should be back-to-back boundaries here for the captain, leading from the front. Easy pickings, you'd say. Missing the trick once again from Christina Mutasa. She moves into double digits. Let's have a look at that again on the replay. Angling into the pads, worked sit on into the vacant onside region. Making good use, of course, of the 2 fielders outside the ring. Already catching up with the strike rate is Lucky Paiti, 11 of 14. Full again on the occasion. Apish. She's made a mess out of that one. We'll have to wait for the indication from the 2 umpires, but these 2 batters are running very hard. Turning out to be a very, very good over here for the female yellow greens. Still waiting for that indication and the confirmation from the fielder. There you go. 3 boundaries, hat-trick of boundaries from the captain.
And that's what Paiti is good at. And she knows how to get those boundaries. And that's an aspect of her game that she needs to think about. As long as she's there, she knows she would catch up with the ball per ball and strike rate. From 3 of 12 deliveries, she's moved to 15 of 15 deliveries. Her ability clearly shows it. The intent is there. 63 runs required from 103. And perhaps planning to finish this off in 10 overs. But let's see how things pan out here. That's the last delivery of the 3rd over.
Oh, listen to the sound. Make that 4 boundaries on the trotter. And this is one of the best of the 4 boundaries. Go to the boundary like a tracer bullet. Courtesy of Lucky Paiti.
And that's the power behind that one. Just foolish, and she would say slash. You call that a straight drive. Powerfully struck through the offside. And she races to 19 from 16 deliveries. We spoke about it. Meanwhile, Igbenedion Victory is yet to get onto a double figure, 1 of 3. You can see Paiti has dominated proceedings. 22 for no loss after 3 overs. 59 from 102 deliveries.
Fantastic over there from Lucky Paiti. Leading from the front is the captain. 19 of 16. She looks to be in a hurry. She got troubled in the first 2 overs, but she's made sure she's bounced on that 2nd over over Mutasa. The captain will be bowling her 2nd from the pavilion end. Plays it nearly, ricochets it into her own stumps is Victory. They normally say fortune favors the brave. As she gets a fast boundary is Victory.
Now shaping that one inside edge and miss the stumps and the wicket keeper. Boundary is a boundary. And Victory will be happy with that one. Scores move on to 26 for no loss.
A boundary is a boundary. You just reminded me of back in the days. They used to tell us no matter where the shot of the boundary comes from, as long as it's not as a boundary, as you just mentioned. 3.1 overs, 26 for naught, needing just 55. Make that 5 boundaries on the trot. Plays it on the back foot, using the full face. Much better there from a Victory.
And you could see the intent and approach, looking to go big, and indecision there. Decides to and just present a straight bat. Hopefully it comes through and big. Men behind the voices. Shionwa Jidagba would be coming back to the comms box in a moment. She goes big, slash, finds the gap. A bit of contact there, but that would raise down, and the fielders have done well to keep that in play. 2 runs from that. Victory, making a statement. I'm here not just to watch, but to add value.
Very good fielding there, you would say, in the cover region. That was slapped powerfully. She had a hand on that one to make sure they could only settle for a double. 28 for naught after 3.3. Moving slowly and steady are these two into the pads. This time round beats everyone, including the wicket keeper.
They want a second. Will they get it? No is the call. 1 is enough. It's a leg by. That signal there from the umpire. And things just gradually slipping away from the Zimbabwe on the 19th side. 29 after 3.4 overs. Needing 52 from 98 deliveries. And to show how experienced the Nigerian side is, something to learn from by the Zimbabweans, but it's good intent. She missed down the wicket, but misses out on that one. That's another dot. Into the last delivery of the 4th over.
Very good delivery there from the captain, bowling the one that goes away from the right-handers, beating the outside edge of Lucky Paiti, who is into the groove. You can tell by the way she is posing there on your screens. Last ball. Change of pace on that occasion. Up and over the fielder at a short mid-wicket. 2 is the call. Should pick up a double with ease at these two. As we come to the end of the 4th over, it is a 31 for naught. Team Nigeria.
Thank you very much. 2 of the finest match day commentators in Africa. And what do they have in common? 2 people who led their country at several battles decided to bring 2 people who cannot even lead their family to come and replace them. Bob Bashir Songa, former captain of Rwandan cricket national team, opening batter. Endurance Ofem, former captain of Nigerian cricket national team. And of course, it's great to have Peter Oladoshu back. And we are going to take this again to the next 4 overs. We are in launch period. Not the period where you talk about LUNCH, but LAUNCH. And Nigeria 31 for no loss after 4 overs. How are Nigerians faring? Have we been impressed with the batting?
They have been so very comfortable, especially Lucky Party coming in as an opening batter. She's been very comfortable. I would like the game, this strategy between she and Igbenidion Victor. Igbenidion Victor, over time, she's not really been very consistent in terms of rotating strike, but now she has one assignment, and the only assignment is to keep Lucky Party on strike, and she's been doing very excellently with that. Rotating shots, coming on strike when necessary, and Lucky Party has been ruthless in terms of attacking the balls. Emil, she has been served. Full toss was the ball, and she sends it towards the fine leg region. 2 runs, 2 beautiful runs for Igbenidion Victor, rotating the strike just like the game plan is. When necessary, she takes that big risk. This wasn't that much of a big risk. Nearly in the arms of the fielder. The fielder had actually attempted that catch, but she survives that scare, and she will leave to face another ball. On the leg side again, this time very, very lucky for Zimbabweans. It didn't beat the fielder, but that ball did bring Lucky Piety on strike. Lucky Piety that has been all out on this attack. 21 runs so far, all 18 balls faced. Now Lucky Piety buries her head in her arms. An attempted advancement, wanted to do something else, but the late turn and an attempted flick backfires as she watched that ball go sky high, and as the saying goes, what goes up must come down, and down into the arms of the wicketkeeper it comes.
Peter, you can say that again. This is what they call a clear indecision on the part of Lucky Piety that you have spoken about, who was very comfortable, and one would have thought that with the way they were going, Nigeria might not lose any wicket, but unfortunately Lucky Piety departs, and that's the situation. And in comes another reliable batter, Kehinde Muibat Amusa, to come, show what she's made of. She had 1 wicket in the first innings, but an opportunity to bat now and score runs, but more importantly to face the bowling of Munenyasha.
One player that has rise through the ranks very rapidly from the Under-19 World Cup to winning back-to-back Man of the Match awards at the Kubika. And she's been very consistent. She's been very helpful whenever the team needs her performances. Good bowling over. Now Lucky Piety has gone out for now. Musa's turn to take charge, and take charge she is. In the end to the deep, didn't get enough shot behind it as the contact point was the middle of the bat, and she will settle for 1 run. Igbenidion is now on strike. 1 run. Okay,
a lot is expected from Victory Igbenidion. I'm sure the coaches are watching. Wide ball, 1 extra run made to make it 2. I'm talking about Victory Igbenidion. A lot of expectation on her by virtue of her batting prowess. And you talk about Kehinde Amusa.
The female yellow green just look to get better, even after they're under new manager. Leke is no longer the team's coach. It is now Theophilus, and he's been doing wonderfully well. We saw Lillian today with a new bowling action, which seems to work perfectly for us. There's been more pace behind our ball. Lucky Piety has rised up in batting order, coming in 1 opening batting, as Kehinde Amusa now has also shot up in the batting order, coming in 1 down. There's been a lot of changes to this side, and it looks to be going quite well, keeping decimating the batting order of the Zimbabwe. New faces in the team. Queen Joseph also getting a call up. She's yet to make a debut for the national team, but she was impressive when she had the chance with the Under-19, and that she's been absent for a while. She's back now, back in the team. It's only a matter of time before we see her also don the yellow green and play on this field.
Again, you can just call it a seamless transition. Ambassador Theophilus Ibodeme has been with the team for several years, being second in command to Leke Oyede, aka Elofokobale, which means let your mind be at rest. The man who won the 2023 edition for Nigeria and also won the African Games in Achimota, Ghana, the 3rd position. And so it's just a seamless transition between these two.
Calm and composed, if you call it. Igbenidion Victory has been very, very consistent in keeping her alive. She's not tried to be adventurous at any point in this game. She's just there keeping the wicket steady. They do not need to lose wicket, and she understands the assignment. Perhaps I spoke too soon. I talked about it earlier. I said she was calm and composed. She tried to be adventurous this time, and it backfired. Or wickets, or bold.
And that was from the bowling of Tawanyanyasha Zvoma Rima. And maybe that replay will help you understand the beauty in that bowling. See that again on replay.
Very tempting ball. She felt it was in her line, and she wanted to go big, get a boundary for herself, and that will have to hold on. Probably for another game. She's gone out for Salome Sunday, another very pivotal player for the female Yellow Greens. She's been in the national team since the second edition of the Women's Invitational. Since her call-up into the women's national team, Salome Sunday has not missed a match, played every single match for the female Yellow Greens. And that tells you just how dependable and reliable she is when called upon. A wide ball to start our inning. Slow start for Salome Sunday. The very first legal ball ends in a dot. We knew that this runs is chaseable for the female Yellow Greens. A wide ball is that ball. Keeper couldn't reach it, and that is 3-4. My corrections. A wide plus 4 for the female Yellow Greens. The scores are just adding up themselves. We know that these runs are chaseable for the female Yellow Greens, but we also expect Zimbabwe to give them a fight. 2 wickets already. Possibility of more dropping. It just remains to see how more will drop before the Nigerian side pick up another win, a first win of this 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20I.
Salome Sunday, sporting jersey number 99, coming in after Victory Benedion lost a wicket, batting alongside a lady I like to call stabilizer, Kehinde Muibat Amusa. You see Kehinde Muibat Amusa, you want to liken her with another player of the male Yellow Greens. I call that one Muje, and that's Danladi Isaac. And just when I called on her, she answered me with a boundary. Salome Sunday.
A ball, a full length ball like that. Salome was just being merciful. Still leg drive, and 4 runs, puts on 100% strike rate. Having faced 3 balls for no runs, that boundary puts her on an even base. We balls faced. End of the power play is the signal by the umpire. 47 for 2. 34 needed of the next 84 balls. Do you think Zimbabwe will need to expand the field? Because at this point it will be a very big risk. All the Yellow Greens need is just go and get singles. They don't need anything big at this point.
Hold on for a bit. Let me just quickly remind those of you watching across the globe that this is the end of the power play And this is the 5th edition of Nigeria Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament. And one new development about this tournament is the fact that what the 5 captains are jostling for, from Bulen Toshi Mapusa to Lucky Piety to Bimeimana Maridiane to Jacqueline Kokam and of course Miete Van Horst, is that trophy called the Patricia Kambarami Cup. And for those of you who are watching, you'll be wondering, why did they christen this after Patricia Kambarami? Patricia Kambarami of blessed memory was the former International Cricket Council Africa Development Officer. We call her Mama Africa, and she has an affiliation with all the 5 teams that are playing in this tournament. She was so passionate about the development of cricket in Africa, but more importantly, women's cricket in Africa. Unfortunately, we lost her in year 2024 at the age of 65. This was someone who was born in Harare but died in Gauteng, South Africa. And it was not a mistake that the Zimbabwean under-19 team and the South African under-19 team are here. She was also instrumental to Achimota, Ghana, hosting the African Games, where we had cricket for the very first time since 1973. And one of the last words she told Dr. Uyo Sanosawaru Akpata, president of the Cricket Federation, is that we must make Ghana work. And making Ghana work is that field must be ready for that tournament. The field was indeed ready. The tournament was played. And 2 months after that tournament, Patricia Kambarami passed on to the great beyond. So you look at it, she loves Nigeria, she loves Rwanda, born in Zimbabwe, died in South Africa, and said, Ghana must work. That is the woman we are celebrating. The reason the president of the Cricket Federation said, how do we honor this Mama Africa? Let's christen this cup after a legend of Africa. Continue to rest in peace, Mama Africa, Patricia Kambarami.
Very heartfelt speech there, Ajidagba. I was even touched myself. And thanks to our sacrifice, we enjoyed female cricket now. Sat down here, very first game, very beautiful. Saw a big century from Rwanda's very own Fanny. The highest run scored by any debutant in T20 cricket, 111 off 67. An African feat that I hope will last the test of times, as Fanny has already written her name in the history books.
There are some records that are not documented. Fanny reminds me of myself when I made my debut for Igbobi College. The same thing happened, but unfortunately it wasn't well documented. But I will cherish the fact that Fanny has broken a 21-year-old record for a 21-year-old. 111 runs off 65 balls, 17 boundaries. Almost breaking communication. And that will have been Kehinde Muibat Amusa going back to meet the teammates. See that again on replay.
Hesitation from Salome Sunday there. Kehinde Amusa already halfway recovered in time. Something the Zimbabwe under-19 team couldn't do in the first inning. Their recovery was quite slow, and they lost 2 wickets to run out in that process. Good comeback from Kehinde Amusa Muhiba. And she will bat much, much longer. The call was Salome's, and Salome didn't want to take the risk or dot off that ball.
The square leg umpire is signaling for the medical team to come onto the field, and running onto the pitch is Dr. Omoyen Asika, former opening batter for the female yellow green, left hand batter, I must say. And what she has just done is the fact that you can play cricket and also focus on your education. See that catch that got Lucky Piety out.
Think big, dream big, act big, and that didn't pay out for Igbenedion victory. She's been going very, very calmly. The moment she decided to attack, she got checkmated. Keeper is good, keeper is fine, and umpire says play can resume. Concussion protocol was triggered. And Musa Muhibat kindly on strike for the final ball of the 8th over. Too wide. Wide is the signal by the umpire. Another ball. 5 good balls already. And the chance for Maiden was disrupted by the bowler herself. Contact, does he find the gap? Yes, it does. Does he race all the way to the boundary? Yes, it does. Kainde Amusa Muhibat. Eyes on. Ball outside of off. And she dealt with it amicably. Enough contact, enough strength behind the shot, as the fielder could only escort that ball to the boundary. 4 more runs for the female yellow greens. 35 on the board for 2 wickets lost after 8 overs.
Thank you very much, my brother and my friend Peter Ladoshu. There are several firsts that today has recorded. One of such is Fanny playing our first T20 international tournament. Another first we recorded is Adepeju Balogun Adetoro making a T20 international debut as an umpire. Another first recorded was seeing Kokam Jacqueline leading the side for the very first time as the captain of the Black Queens, and I got emotional when she was fielding questions. 26 needed of 72 balls from my friend Bob Bashir Songa. I was a bit tearful when she was responding that they will fix things. After that, you call it humiliating loss to Rwanda. Another first we are recording is Bulembentoshi Mapusa leading the side for the very first time here in Nigeria as the under-19 captain of Zimbabwe. Those are some of the firsts that I think my brain can recall. And how did I forget Angie Nicole Igihozo? Of course, standing for the very first time here in Nigeria.
You've got to give credit to Theophilus for this tactical approach. The female yellow greens have been very, very slow and calm. Them knowing the gap, knowing the runs are not too many. They have less runs to worry about than balls available. And they've been very, very calm. We used to see the Nigerian side chase runs below 100, losing about 4 or 5 wickets in the process. So far, so good. Just 2 wickets lost. And that is an improvement to the side we usually see. We're seeing Salome as calm as possible. We're seeing Amusa not being adventurous. Both batters are ticking, just making sure that they are moving between the sticks, between the wickets, and keeping themselves energized.
Oh, lovely shot there to send the ball to boundary. And finally, they are bringing the game home. But again, players are celebrating. See that again on replay. Players are celebrating first. Umpires are doing so. At the comes position, we also have to celebrate. I think this is the first time Peter Oladoshu will be doing this here in Lagos. I mean, I knew where I was heading. The first time at the female invitational tournament that you'll be doing this. Congratulations, Peter.
Yeah, I'm not trying to brag, but it's been long overdue. I've enjoyed female cricket for quite a long time, so it's actually very, very nice to be here to talk about it on an international spectrum. Beloved Ibiza, she had her own fair share of fun and excitement when she played with the Zimbabwe women's team that beat Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers, T20 World Cup qualifiers. And now she's here with the under-19 side playing against most of the players that she faced in the World Cup qualifiers. And now they seem to be having the better laugh. Nine overs completed, 63 on the board for 2 wickets lost.
One more over, and then we'll have come to the first part of the second innings, but more importantly, the drinks break, where the duo here can also get a drink and allow the two captains to take over at the commentary position. 18 runs in 66 balls. No run there. Salome Sunday, the striker. Oh my word, all effort was in futility.
That ball was very, very much in her field of vision. On the first bounce, she fed off it, and that dive wrong. Didn't actually dive to meet the ball. She dived to just, be a form of barricade, and that was what prompted that ball. Give that ball enough spacing to race all the way to the boundary. It's not so when you see Salome Sunday doing something like this, you're actually not surprised. Salome Sunday holding the record. She's also behind Giselle in Shimwe on most runs scored by an individual in this tournament. She's also in the 300 runs mark, 337 for Salome. As before today, that is, you add this 15 to it, and she's getting closer. Both batters have a lot to fight for. The runs are less, and Salome feels the need to go all out. 1 run she gets off this ball, though. 13 needed of the next 61 balls, almost into the halfway point. And required run rate is now less than 2 per over. Although of the last, and Salome will come back to start after the innings break. It's 10 overs completed, 68-4-2.
What is needed is 13 runs of 60 balls, and see that on your screen. Lucky Piety captain, 21 runs of 19 balls, which included 4 fours. Igbinedion victory, 10 runs of 11 balls, and Amusa Kehinde Muibat and Salome Sunday have combined to face 31 balls and have just scored 23 runs. That will bring us to the end of the first part, the partnership here. Lucky Piety and Igbinedion, 34 runs in 28, and Kehinde Amusa and of course Salome Sunday, 31 in 28. We will now take a pause and allow the duo of Endurance of M and Bob Bashir Songa to take us through.
Right, we're back. As you see the equation there on your screens, 13 to get for the female yellow greens of 60 deliveries as we just finished the last drinks break of match day 1, game number 2 of the 5th edition of the Nigeria Women's Invitational T20I live here at the Tafawa Balewa Square. Before, of course, Andy joins me. If you're just joining us, it's the young lady chevrons who won the toss and decided to have a bat faster. And the hosts find themselves needing only 13 in 60. Should be a walk in the park, given that they have wickets in hand, Mr. Andy.
Clearly, the dominance here, we can see how important this is and how well they've managed to dominate this. Won't be too long here. Salom Sunday, 16 of 16, and Amusa, 8 of 15 deliveries. No need to hurry here. Just take paces and wait for those ones. Short delivery. She goes big in the air, but no man's land. She will run a couple. First one completed, and yes, she gets a second. Score moves to 70 now. 11 from here.
Good running between the wickets from Salome Sande and Musa Kehinde. Moving slowly and steady, trying to see if they can get their team over the line with the win, of course. They have won this trophy twice. Is the female yellow greens. They've started off, of course, with a very big statement, restricting the young lady chevrons just right under 80 runs, making it look very easy for them at the moment, needing 11 outside offer, beats the outside edge straight away. I feel the job was done in the chase by the captain with those 5 boundaries back to back. No ball signal by the umpire, should be a free hitter. Nothing is working at the moment for the Nigeria, I beg your pardon, for the Zimbabwean under 19s.
Clearly, this is show of dominance here. 8-wicket victory will be appropriate, but you never can say this is cricket. You don't jinx it. But I think it's good exposure for these young chevrons. She comes down the line, misses out on that one, but get a couple. And leg by would be the signal, this time from the umpire.
It goes for only 1 run from Salome Sande, trying to heave it over mid-wicket for a boundary. Couldn't get enough connection into the pass, loud appeal, but this time round the umpire turns it down. But again, when you look at the young lady chevrons, it is too early to judge. They have very good bowlers. Not many times you see teams with 4 left-hand bowlers. We cannot judge them with only 1 game.
I can say clearly they will get better as they progress into this tournament. That's usually the case. We saw Ghana batting out 20 overs, and the junior chevrons will gradually progress. They've got the quality, they've got the ability, perhaps not enough to defend 8 required from 56 deliveries.
Very good point there you raise, Andy. Coming back to the Ghanaian side, playing all the 20 overs, it is a very, very big positive. They will take back at the hotel, of course, having not played international cricket for the past 3 years. Listen to the sound, one bounce over the ropes, and to make worse the matter, it is a signal by the umpire as a no ball. Free hit to come, only a hit away.
Brilliant shot. This time it was full. Too full it is.
Just 3 runs to get in 55, and is a free hit. Can this be the moment? On the strike is none other than Kehinde Amusa, who moves into double figures, 12 off 18. Only 3 runs for the female Yellow Greens to register their first win in the 5th edition.
A brilliant bowling there. She slowed things down a bit. That's the end of the 11th over. It's 78 for the loss of 2. Current run rate 7.09. Just 3 required in 54 balls.
Very interesting there from Monanyasha. The last delivery, she gets away with that, you would say. Nearly bounced twice, but the umpire says that was a dot ball. She won't be the one that get the winning runs, is Monanyasha. 78 for 2, needing only 3. Salome Sande on striker, who's already on 18 of 20. Shot number 99. She scored plenty of runs on this particular ground and in this particular tournament. She has a long off, long on. Quicker on the occasion, plays it on the leg side.
Coming close to it. 79 runs on the board. 2 runs required. Amusa. Clearly, the Nigerian side have dominated play here. Needless Rick's soft hands there. Scores 11 now. 1 required. Salome Sunday on strike. Sitting on 19 of 21 deliveries. What a way to show dominance.
Proper dominance, of course, having lost the toss. The female Yellow Greens, they're only 1 run away for their very first victory. They won't be in action in tomorrow's match day 2, as South Africa under 19s will be taking on. That should be it for the female Yellow Greens, as she bowls it down the leg side, white signal, and the ball races away to the boundary as the female Yellow Greens register their very first win in the 5th edition of the Women's Invitational Tournament.
From that short run up, forcing it down the leg side, and clearly the umpire signaled that one, and that will go all the way, and that's victory for Nigeria. And that ends proceedings. It's been clear show of dominance by Rwanda and Nigeria on day 1 of the 5th edition of this tournament. And Nigeria, who have won by 8 wickets. Clearly, many thanks to our sponsors, Providus, Dafabet, and Russo Advisory. That's the match summary again. Zimbabwe under 19 got bowled out for 18, 16.5 overs. Lorene Pemhiwa, Bilo Biza, Nokutenda, all registering double figures, 22, 21, and 10 respectively. But the key destroyers are Anointed, Aigbe, 3 for 16 off 3, Peace Hussein, 3 for 16 off 4, and Amusa, 1 for 16. Lucky Piety led the pack for Nigeria, 21 of 19 deliveries. Salom Sunday, 19 of 21. And Amusa, 13 of 20. Wicket takers. Mandizora, 1 for 18 in 3. And Zumarine, 1 for 15 of 2. Christina Mutasa didn't get any. Nigeria, there you go, winning by 8 wickets. We will continue with the post-match presentation. Ajiragba Sheon.
Good afternoon and welcome to the post-match presentation of Match 2, Day 1 of the Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament, the Patricia Kambarami Cup, the 5th edition. My name is Shewaji Dagba and welcome to the post-match presentation. At this juncture now, I would like to call on the captain of Team Zimbabwe Under-19 team who lost by 8 wickets, Bulenkoshi Mapusa. Mapusa, the world wants to see you on camera. What went wrong today? Your batting.
I think the girls didn't really express themselves today, and we made many mistakes, and I hope tomorrow to be comeback.
You won the toss and elected to bat, but some areas things did not work out. But I'm sure that going into subsequent games, you try and fix those areas. Or is it a case of this is your first time playing on the Tafawa Balewa cricket oval, so you have not gotten used to this cricket pitch? Maybe in subsequent games, your team will get better.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons, but I hope tomorrow.
Thank you very much. All right, you just heard from the captain of Team Zimbabwe Under-19 side, Bulenkoshi Mapusa. I will now call on the captain of Team Nigeria, Lucky Piety. Lucky Piety, congratulations. Your first win at this tournament. You lost the toss, but you said you would have loved to bat first, but there are other plans you had, and that plan was to ensure that this brilliant Zimbabwean Under-19 side, you reduce them to 80 runs. What can you say about your first inning performance?
I feel nothing much. We just wanted to do the basics, and which we made sure we were very, very focused on, and everyone did their best. We all did great, and it all summed up to what happened in the game.
Going into subsequent games, you have to be a bit audible because after winning, a lot of people want to hear you. Going into subsequent games, what is the plan?
It's just to keep it simple, keep on with the basics as we have planned, and just stick on it. That's it.
All the best. All right, you just heard from the captain of Team Nigeria, winning by 8 wickets and making a statement. Honorable mention for the likes of Lauren Pehiwa. Honorable mention to the likes of beloved Biza. Honorable mention to the likes of Lucky Piety, the captain. But talking about my presenter for the player of the match for today, the tallest umpire in Nigeria, umpire mentor, Habib Dahiru Amoto Balogun Enesi, will be presenting to the peaceful Peace Hussein 3 wickets for 16 runs in 4 overs. You cannot leave after collecting my plaque. Your name is Peace, but you don't give people peace in the batting crease. How excited are you, Peace, winning the player of the match?
Very excited.
3 wickets, 4 overs, 16 runs, brilliant bowling spell. Are we expecting more from the peaceful Peace?
Yes, thank you so much.
And what do you have to say to your teammates who backed you up?
They are wonderful, and I thank them. The catches they took from me, they made me go that weekend, so I really appreciate it.
So finally, are you saying this package you are going to share with your teammates?
Yes.
Congratulations. All right. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Peace. And that has brought us to the end of the post-match presentation for Day 1, Match 2 of the Nigerian Cricket Federation Women's T20 Invitational Tournament that has 5 countries in attendance: Zimbabwe Under-19 team, South Africa Under-19 team, Rwanda, Ghana, and of course host Nigeria. From the Tafawa Balewa Cricket